The property sector has been a drag on China's growth, particularly in the Greater Bay Area, home to embattled real estate giants Evergrande and Country Garden. But there are signs that it's clawing back as people build lives in new cities, a home away from home. I'm traveling across the region to understand why they move and how migration is reshaping the market. Several times a month, Edmund Chan packs a weekend bag and takes a 2.5-hour train ride from Hong Kong to Yunfu.
The people here, they mainly speak Cantonese, which is my mother tongue. So it's easy for me to communicate with anyone here. The price level here for everything is even lower than those in the other cities of China, like the popular Greater Bay Area cities. Deborah, let me show you. Yeah, it's saying that welcome Hong Kong people coming back to this residence. This is my unit.
The 49-year-old, born and bred in Hong Kong, bought a one-bedroom unit in Yunfu early last year. The city has the lowest GDP growth in the whole province. Its cost of living is also lower than major cities like Guangdong and Shenzhen.
Here is like around 55 square meters. The price for 1 square meter here is just like less than 5,000 Chinese RMB per square meters. We can save like at least 5 times lower than that of Hong Kong for the similar size apartment. The average price of private housing in Hong Kong is like maybe 20 to 30 times higher than the median annual income of normal income citizens. It's not easy to get a private property for most people.
He only has one other neighbor on his floor so far. Delivery parcels and new furniture are stacked up in the mailroom. It's a new neighborhood, and people are still moving in. Many are from Hong Kong and Macau. All that makes it sound like an up-and-coming community. The reality is, the development is still more of a cul-de-sac than a through road. The idea is this: once you exit Yunfu East high-speed rail station, you come out and the first thing you see is a luxury hotel and a fancy retail development. Now, the problem is it's just an idea that never materialized. Locals have said that this project has stopped for about 2 years now. They've not seen any workers return since then. And if you look really closely, there's still construction equipment lying everywhere, there are cranes everywhere. There's also exposed brick where you can see mold and water stains. Now, this is just an example of the property crisis that has unfolded across China over the last few years, which has affected consumer confidence. And that's something that the Chinese government is trying to reverse. China's property market has been in a multi-year downturn since 2020. When property sales plummeted, it set off a chain reaction, leaving developers default on debts and construction projects unfinished. It's been a drag on China's GDP growth. As part of efforts to revive demand, the government eased purchase restrictions last year for non-local buyers, opening doors to those from across the border, such as Edmund. Mainland property agent Liu Kaixin helped Edmund close the deal for his flat in Yunfu. His company is among a growing number of firms tapping into the Greater Bay Area market. 80% of its clients are from Hong Kong and Macau, looking for affordable retirement homes instead of buying for investment.
那个政策下台之后的话，我觉得是比以往就是前几年疫情刚开始的时候是好做好多的。住的比较远的一些，比如说去到欧洲国家的一些华人呢，目前的话也是多了，比以往就除了港澳人士以外的话，那我们的一些业务的话还是有一些增长的这个过程当中。2024年也是取得了一个比较满意的一些成绩。
With the mainland property market still in the doldrums, even at significantly lower prices, buying homes could still be risky. The Hong Kong registered company said it only sells completed projects to protect buyers.
我们首先的话会对一个开发商做一些负债，他的一个签约能不能如期进行，以及是不是限楼，然后这个进行一个综合的评估之后确定对我们的购房者是没有任何的问题的话，我们才会考虑去接受这个开发商，然后的话去推售这些房子。
Economic and social integration within the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau Greater Bay Area has accelerated rapidly in recent years, thanks to new multiple entry visas. With the cost of living in Hong Kong soaring high above most mainland Chinese cities, many are popping across the border for more affordable dining, shopping, and in Atlan's case, housing.
50 square meter in Hong Kong, maybe like 8 to 10 million Hong Kong dollars. But if you go to areas like Shenzhen and Guangzhou, they are already relatively more expensive in the GBA. You can get one probably in about 2 or 3 million Hong Kong dollars with a very high quality of facilities and amenities.
Mainland cities are still struggling to clear their housing inventory amid the downturn. Buyers from Hong Kong and Macau could provide a much-needed boost.
We expect a property price increase by up to 5% for the top-tier cities. Other cities will still be struggling because of a low capital flow and also a low economic growth. So those cities will experience a drop in property price between 3 to 5%.
That's why less developed cities like Yunfu are going above and beyond to make residents feel welcome.
You live here constantly for more than half year, the government will issue something like the residence permit for those Hong Kong and Macau people. We can join the medical scheme here, just like the local citizens here. Then we can enjoy much cheaper medical treatment. If you migrate to other countries, I think it's not as convenient as this one.
China built it, but they didn't come. Billions poured into quiet towns. Towering skyscrapers stand vacant, waiting for tenants who never arrive. Mega projects decaying into ghost cities. What will it take for one underoccupied southern island to buck the trend? At just over 104 square kilometers, Hengqin Island is already 3 times bigger than neighboring Macau. It may be geographically part of the southern Chinese city of Zhuhai, but the free trade zone is co-managed by Guangdong and Macau authorities, all part of national plans to further Macau's economic diversification and reduce its reliance on the gaming industry. This new train line opened just last December. It connects Macau and Hengqin via a 2.2 kilometers railway. In just 2 minutes, we'll be right across the border. Beyond deepening Macau's integration into the Greater Bay Area, this added convenience is also expected to drive migration into the Hengqin Cooperation Zone. Over 62,000 people cross the border daily. Macau resident Adam Lai is one of them.
我喺呢邊都返咗工2-3個月嘅，咁呢度嘅環境其實都各方面嘅配套都幾好嘅。之前我哋係公司係雲州一個地方，咁所以可能有啲溝通上就會需要可能要揸車過去嗰邊，跟住要開個 meeting 咁樣就所以比較麻煩。但係而家搬咗嚟橫琴嘅話，佢可以結合到珠海嘅同事同埋澳門嘅同事，就係同一個辦公嘅場所咁樣可以做一個交流，即係所有嘅消息嘅通訊方面都會比較流暢啦，可以。
Adam works for a Macau tech company that just set up operations in Hengqin this March. It opted for a new city that's closer to home, instead of the more competitive tech hub of Shenzhen.
So they give us very good research funding so that we can try more new things. We see the opportunity there because we are doing the low altitude economy tech stuff. There's a lot of rules and regulations. They are not 100% fixed yet. So we're still exploring how the legal environment can adapt. Hengqin become a very good place for we to try new things over there. That place is like a good sandbox and they're exploring how to innovate with the policy and to adapt to those technology.
Here, Macau companies and residents enjoy preferential tax rates of 15%, on top of funding to help them hire talent. The zone's import and export value hit $3 billion USD last year, accounting for about 0.05% of the national total. But talent shortage could stymie progress.
I think the next question will be the human resource talent part, because even though there's more talent in Hengqin side, but I think especially when it comes to financial, there's still a limitation of financial talents over this side. There's only limited opportunity here in terms of retail banks or corporate banks, but nothing in the investment banking, etc. I think that's the area they have to improve on.
It's a weekday afternoon, yet there were barely any cars on the roads. Grade A office buildings lined the streets, but over 50% of them were empty in 2023, sparking a policy to convert them into hotel rooms. At that time, the government said it was to cater to a growing pool of domestic tourists, looking for budget-friendly stays while they make day trips to Macau and Hong Kong on a new multiple entry visa. And then there's Macau New Neighborhood, a residential project in Hengqin built exclusively for Macau residents.
呢度空氣好啲啦，少人啲咯。我哋衞生中心又方便咯，睇醫生又方便咯。就對面呢度咋？我就對面就係專貨澳門人㗎。有銀行，有食肆，係嘛？有麥當勞。即係我哋嚟嗰時冇咁方便，而家就方便好多啦。第一批入嚟嗰時啊，超級市場都未有㗎嘛。
The estate can house up to 15,000 people. Latest figures show that only 34% of flats have been sold since the sales launch over a year ago. Mr. Lai's Hengqin office is a short distance away, and yet most of his staff prefer living and commuting from Macau, which is only a 15-minute drive away.
We have 16 to 20 people there. Actually, only 3 or 4 of them living in Hengqin, and because they are younger ones, they don't have family and they can live wherever they want. I still live in Macau because our family and friends, we are still in Macau, and we got more shop and restaurants in Macau. So Hengqin infrastructure stuff, the school, the hospital, they're building up, but they don't have many choices as well. They are improving, maybe not as fast as the people would expect it.
To stimulate sales, the government lifted the minimum age requirement and removed a 5-year resale limit last year.
You need to see it as a package. Your job, your wife's job, and your children. I think main thing is the children, the education. But I think it's gonna change quite quick because they're going to build some university. They want to improve the middle school and the primary school. People, when they decide where to live, a lot of things is around where the student go to the school.
The University of Macau will add its second campus to the island, while 2 others are planning expansions.
In the past, when there's no Hengqin, the students in Macau are only, interacting internal within schools in Macau. But this actually opens door for Macau students to come over here and participate in interacting with the mainland Chinese students as well, cooperating and actually fruitful discussion. And I think that actually opened the eye of the student to feel that there's more that they can do in their future after graduating, instead of limited being in Macau only.
In 10 years, lawmakers expect about 80,000 Macau residents to work in Hengqin and 120,000 to live there. Lofty goal or not, the quiet streets show that Hengqin still has a long way to go.
我本科来的时候正好是10年前，就2015年。然后在2017年的时候，澳门有一个超强的台风天鸽，然后当时是因为非常的突然，然后整个学校是停电了一段时间。然后我们当时有个非常深的感受，就是我们在Hengqin周围都是一片漆黑的，然后我们能够看到的亮光的地方就只有荡仔那边的赌场，然后就感觉我们是在一个孤岛上面学习。
27-year-old Kitty Xu witnessed Hengqin's transformation from the boondocks to a young city, all while studying at the University of Macau.
现在这几年我就发现学校周围就多了很多的这种高楼大厦，很多的建筑，所以我觉得在交通上面，就是口岸和便利的交通是有方便我们的学习和生活的。
A stretch of barbed wire runs across its perimeter, separating the school from the port. The campus sits on this 1 square kilometer area on Hengqin that was leased to the Macau government in 2013. Students like Kitty, who live in the Guangdong-administered part of Hengqin, must cross the border to get to school.
澳大，因为它现在这几年都在扩招，然后学校的宿舍是有限的，所以其实学校只能够保证我们博士1年级的时候的校内住宿。那博士2年级之后，我们就要每年进行一个抽签，才能够保证你有没有住宿。与其每年等待抽签率，还不如就是在横琴租一个房子。所以我也是从去年开始就在横琴租房。我现在的房价是1室1厅，我一个人3000人民币1个月。是价格有一点高，但是还是可以接受的。澳门的房价会更贵一点。我了解到的，可能在澳门租房的话，需要5000到6000澳门币左右，而且是跟别人一起合租。
Kitty, a native of Hunan province in central China, is now a second-year PhD student, specializing in translation of traditional Chinese medicine terminology.
正好澳门这几年提倡那个大健康的产业，所以中医药也正好是它的一个着重发展的一个方向。所以我觉得，好像这种缘分之后可能就业会比较倾向于选择在大湾区这边，沿海的城市它的发展机会会更多，而且包括这边也有很多政策的扶持，所以我觉得可能之后大概率会留在这边工作。
The Greater Bay Area's rapid transformation into China's leading economic zone has drawn talent from across the country. It's not just in Macau. In Hong Kong, the number of non-local university students more than doubled to nearly 77,000 in the last decade. Mainland students make up the majority.
香港这边它的那个教育可能更完善一点吧，我觉得，因为毕竟它那个历史会更久一点，而且其实那些大学其实都挺先进的，相比于有些内地的一些大学。
香港的学校这个自由度非常高，无论是言论自由还是那个舆论自由，还有相关的一些那个科技层面的一些发展，都是比内地肯定是有过人之处。
Nearly 8,000 of them were given approval to study here in the first quarter of this year, compared to just over 3,000 at the same time in 2024. Hong Kong expects applications to rise as the US imposes stricter policies on student visas, starting with Trump's ban on foreign students at Harvard.
A lot of phone calls, messages right away. So basically, what we want to do is to in a way, is to comfort the families. Because, of course, nobody can predict the situation. Things change on a daily basis because the court was involved, and then Harvard was making different statements, etc. And then we were also waiting for the Trump government. So this is why we just had to make sure we kept up to date to the latest information. Then we could also share them with the families. But of course, we are here to help.
Yet, finding affordable living remains difficult. On-campus housing is the cheapest option, but it's one bed to every 3 students there right now.
这个数量如果不够的情况下，自己去外面去找一些相关的一些提供给学生的一些宿舍，就看你怎么样去根据自己的一个收入水平和那个经济水平去找咯。
看经济实力吧，如果说可能比较高，这个费用比较高的话，可能还是保守一点，先住亲戚那里。
Rental prices have spiked in neighborhoods near universities by up to 12%. Now, a new category of private student hostels is emerging to fill the gap.
We're actually a few minutes walk to the PolyU campuses. So literally, 3 minutes. We actually do a count like 350 steps, and then you could just get into the campuses.
Investors like real estate giant Centerline are starting to convert 2- or 3-star hotels into student hostels. There are 10 such projects, providing nearly 3,000 beds at the end of last year. Centerline is the newest kid on the block, buying over a mid-tier hotel in Tsim Sha Tsui last September. But it's no stranger to this space, having run student hostels in the US and UK since 2016.
For the Hong Kong property market for the past decade is trending up and getting to the peak. So from what we see, like 2 years back, we started to see the cycle trending down. That's really the moment that we started to come back home and look for opportunities.
The hostel will provide 121 beds and comes with a communal kitchen, laundry and study areas.
同埋可以加翻啲畫咯，即係唔同房加唔同 style 嘅畫就可以即係唔同風格，即係可能唔同學生中意唔同嘅 style。
Centelline plans to offer about 3,000 beds in the next 2 to 3 years, setting up a platform to help asset owners with conversions. Part of the draw, a stable, steady stream of income, something of a rarity in the current property downturn.
Private landlord, they always charge 100% upfront of the rent from non-local students. Literally got the room books even if the students and the parents didn't come to visit the property. They're just so eager to secure a spot, which is very close to the campus. So you can tell the demand is here.
The market is not just ripe for the picking. It seems to offer a way out for hotel owners struggling with declining room rates and an increasingly cautious tourist crowd. Average rates dropped about 13% this first quarter compared to a year ago, despite occupancy rates improving. Renovation is nearly done. For this particular floor, they're still waiting on furniture like a bed, curtains, as well as a study chair and some lighting. So all works are expected to be completed by the end of July. Now we're looking at a 7-month process for this particular project, which the operator says could be even faster given new policy changes to waive planning procedures for conversions. Hong Kong will be expanding the definition of hotels to include student hostels, making it easier for operators to enter the market and ease the severe bed crunch. It's all part of plans to promote an education hub in the city. Centelline believes this could shorten future projects by a third of the time.
If we are talking about a year ago, no one knew about it. What is student housing? Is it a flat or a unit really close to a school? But now it's really an asset class in Hong Kong. I think it really helped speed up more awareness among the population, particularly among the investors' population.
This is just a start as people cross borders to live, work, and play, sometimes looking for a place to belong, even for a short while, where dreams can take root and grow.